Hey folks, welcome to another edition of BrushPile Fishing. We're back at Caddo Lake here in Texas for day 2 of taping. Yesterday we did a show fishing some deep brush piles. Today we're going to do a little dock shooting and we're going to see which one's producing the better fish right now. A lot cooler this morning than it was yesterday afternoon. We were close to 90 degrees. It's about 41, 42 this morning. So we're going to get out there. It's a beautiful lake. If you missed the show before, wait till you see the scenery here and some pretty nice black crappie too. So Caddo Lake with Brian Carter, here we come.
Many people look at a lake and feel a sense of calm serenity. Crappie fishermen feel the heart-pounding anticipation of the thump. That's why host Russ Bailey is addicted to crappie fishing. It's this addiction that takes Russ from the Midwest to the Deep South in search of the best lakes, techniques, and patterns from some of the best crappie anglers in the country. Right here on BrushPile Fishing.
Hey folks, welcome back to BrushPile Fishing here at Caddo Lake in Texas. Day 2. Yesterday we shot a show doing brush piles and stumps. Today, Brian, we're changing it up a little bit.
Yeah, man, welcome back to Jurassic Park Part 2. Yeah, so stumps yesterday. Today we're going to try to go up, we were downriver yesterday on the stumps, and today we're going to try to go up the river. Some great scenery on the way and try to fish some boat docks.
Okay.
And then the posts on the boat docks, it'll be a lot of larger posts, almost like a telephone pole size. Probably 9 to 16 feet of water, and see if we can't find some bigger fish along those posts.
You know, yesterday we fished, we started an afternoon show. We were in about close to 90 degrees air temperature.
Yeah.
We had a cold front. It was 40 degrees overnight, so we'll see what they do.
Yeah, this feels great, but it's cold for Texas. But yeah, I'm excited to go see what the day holds for us.
All right, Caddo Lake Part 2. We're going to do some dock shooting. Here we go.
Here's the lake information, sponsored by Mossback Fish Habitat. Your gear and conditions, sponsored by Cornfield Fishing Gear.
Oh, that fish is coming to it. Got him, Russ.
That's that same one I just caught.
I know it. But I'll tell you what there, Russ, we've gone to a smaller jig.
Yeah.
We started out with an 1/8 ounce and a heavy body. Now, it's no trophy by any means, but we got a fish to react to a smaller jig, smaller crappie magnet on a 32nd ounce head.
And that's 2 as soon as we downsize.
Yeah, as soon as we go to a smaller size. So just start in the morning out, see what we can figure out.
As far as these docks we're fishing, starting out this morning, the inner dock posts are in about 6 foot of water. The ones out here on the edge are in about 14 foot. So we've got different depths, just trying to figure out where they are. Both fish so far have come off the inner docks.
I'll tell you, that's as far as you need to go right there. Yep, you got a chance to catch a fish or a piece of brush right there. Yep, there on you. There he is, Russ.
There we go.
Hey, they're getting a little better. They're getting a little better.
Not too bad. That fish was shallow, folks.
Yeah, about 3.5 foot.
If that.
Yeah, there we go.
I dropped it down, did about a 2 count, started just a steady, slow retrieve. I've got the dude special on there.
Yes, the dude.
The dude with the pink eye hole. So see if we can get a few bigger ones.
Yeah. Oh, I spooked him off, sitting right under the boat. Got him, Russ.
Ooh, that's a good fish. That's a good one.
Well, they're getting a little bit bigger. We're going from 4 inches to 6 inches to 8 to that's almost 10 probably.
We're
getting there. It's early in the morning.
All right, folks, we want to break this down into the basics for you. If you've never dock shot, but you're seeing this technique and you're liking it, here's what I like to do, and everybody's a little bit different, but I love the Sharpshooter 6, like Brian talked about earlier. It's a one-piece rod designed for dock shooting. Now, I'll open that bail, and I've got that line just barely resting on my finger. I'm not pulling back, but just letting it rest. As far as the jig, I'm gonna pull it down to about where my reel is. Okay, and I'm holding it by the jig head. Do not hold it by the hook because you'll find out why you shouldn't do that real quick. But what I'm gonna do, so it's about to where my reel is, when I shoot, I pull that back, and as you can see, the rod's got plenty of give. It's designed for this, okay? And when I pull the jig head back, that keeps that line that's on my other finger, it keeps it tight. And I said, don't pull back, just hold your finger there. And then when I release the jig, that line just takes right off my finger. I move my finger out of the way, and you can shoot 25, 30 feet, get underneath pontoon boats, get underneath these docks. So that's the technique. And you know, Brian, one of the things we were talking about is the first time you dock shoot shouldn't be out here on the water, especially if you've got openings this big, you're gonna get frustrated.
No.
There are many ways to practice right at home.
You know, and just to show you a little piece there too with that rod. So I guided this for 8 years on Cedar Creek, and I told my clients for the first 25 shots, that jig is gonna go someplace you never thought was imaginable. It'll go behind you, it'll go on top of a boathouse. But the one visual I tried to go with on people is when you let go of the jig, right? This is all the timing. So when the rod is bent back, and Russ will bend it like that, I'm going back. But the timing of when you let go of it with your finger that's on the line at the rod, the timing of when I release this is I visualize once the jig has passed the end of the rod tip, then taking my finger off allows the momentum to carry it forward. So just a little tip there on how to, on that timing, because that jig is gonna go everywhere that first several shots.
Well, and believe it or not, and folks, this is a tip that I like to give you. One of the biggest mistakes I used to see if I took people on a guide trip and we were dock shooting, they would pull that jig back and they're sitting there aiming it for like 5 minutes.
Right, pull and go.
Pull it and just let it go.
Yep.
You'll learn it quicker that way. But I think once you do this, you're gonna love it. If you've got a garage door, open it up about this much to where you've got that much of an opening, start shooting under the garage door.
But carry some spray paint to cover up the dents. Yeah.
5-gallon buckets, turn it on its side, shoot under there. Or get a kitchen chair, take it out in the driveway, and once you start shooting under that chair every time, actually pick a leg of that chair, and you'll be surprised about 20 minutes into it, it's like, man, I've got this. And I do want to do this, and I love the man dearly, but my good buddy, Rick Solomon, who is known for his spider rigging, first time I ever took him dock shooting, until today, this is still the only guy I've ever seen do this. He shoots this way, and somehow it lands 20 foot straight behind him. So Rick Solomon, if you're watching right now, you tell me it ain't true, bud. All right, let's get back to the docks.
Let's do it, let's do it. There you are. Yep, there's fish coming right now.
Take it.
Lift up on it. Yeah.
Got him.
There you go, Russ.
There we go.
It's a pretty nasty little dock you just fished that in.
Yes, sir. Been here for a few years. That's kind of
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, this is a vintage dock. Not a vintage
It
fish,
is.
but a vintage dock, yeah.
One with a bottle of gold on the purple eye hole there. It changed colors a little bit. He actually hit it pretty hard.
Yeah, that
too.
one actually-
He hit it hard.
Yeah. We gotta find us a bigger one though,
Yeah.
but he hit it. Now that fish came out from 3 feet away, just nonstop, and boom.
I couldn't see him. I just.
No, I was like, there's no way that fish not gonna. Yep, up. He's chasing it. He's chasing it. Stay up. Watch the screen. Yep. Come on in here, Russ. There you go. Get him out of there.
There we go.
Very nice, sir. Very nice.
That's 2 on the bottle of gold.
Jungle fishing this dock.
We're hitting the docks, but man, there's
Oh,
brush
good catch.
underneath. 11-inch fish here. So what are the limits as far as size and numbers here on Caddo?
Yeah, so you're on a lake that splits Texas and Louisiana. So on this Texas side up to the Highway 43 bridge, there's no minimum length limit and 25 fish a person. Now once we get past, 4 or 5 miles down the river, we get to the bridge, then it goes back to the Texas limit of got to be 10 inches and 25 fish a person. But here, no minimum length, 10 inch or 25 per person.
Okay. That's not a big trophy fish, but a good cleaner size right there.
Yep.
And he being a live well, but today, it's catch and release. So Brian, what we're doing, we're concentrating on these dock poles, but some of these docks are just loaded with brush, as you can see, and it's even worse under the water. So it's not your typical shooting docks. A lot of this we're doing vertical jigging with these 6-foot rods too.
Yeah, a little combat fishing in a couple of these, but like they say, if you're not getting hung up in structure, you're not crappie fishing.
Yeah.
So that's what we're gonna do throughout the day, and we're gonna put some fish in here and make a great show for everybody.
Tell you what, folks, too, I've tried a lot of different colors now. I made 2 flips with the Butler Gold, and it's caught 2 fish, so it's got the purple head on. Of course, that's the eye hole. See if we can't get a third in there.
There's about 5 fish like what you just caught, but they're in between there.
And we know there's big fish here, but we just gotta find them.
And they're shallow. You can stop it right there. You don't have to be 3 foot down.
That high-vis line's critical too, because some of the bites are light, but you'll see that line jump. When you see it, set the hook. You don't want to wait until you feel it, because a lot of times that fish has had it and he's already spit it out. Some of the fish you'll actually feel it first, but most of these this morning I've seen that line jump.
Speaking of jumping.
Yeah, hang on here. The other thing too, especially if it's a slower bite, instead of seeing that line jump like that, you may just, there's the jump. That's what I like to see. But a lot of times you may just see that line move from side to side real slow. And if you're not doing it, there's a fish on there you may not even feel. So line watching is critical, even when we're doing this vertical jigging with the 6-foot rods. And you can see in between these dock posts, it's just loaded with brush. So you try not to get hung up, do a lot of vertical jigging in there. The other thing, since this bite was so finicky, I went from a 1/8 to a 1/16, and now I've got a 1/24 ounce jig head on there. All right, folks, so we've caught a few fish, and we talked about it's kind of a combination. It's not a pure dock shooting show. We're catching a few off the dock posts as we shoot in, but then a lot of these guys down here have mega brush under their docks, so we're going into a vertical jig. Now, one of the things, like if I'm vertical jig fishing, I love using my 10.5 foot signature series, but I don't want to flip in there. I want that dock shooter. This is a good versatile rod for what we're doing. The first time I ever used that for vertical jigging, I was at Cave Run with Chris Mann, and it's a great rod for that, so I can go into the chute as it comes down. If I don't get the hit and I'm in that brush, I can go straight up and down with it. So the 6-foot rod, great for using it on this technique. How deep of water is that under there?
15. Okay. There you are. Yeah, keep pulling line out. There's a fish coming right now. He's on it. He's right there. Boom. Get him out of there, Russ.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty in the water. Yeah.
There we go.
Very nice, sir.
He's tucked in that shade, wasn't
Yeah.
he?
Some true dock shooting right there.
The Butler Gold running on.
Yep. Very nice.
He was under there and just in there for that shade. That sun is just starting to pop out good.
Yep. That sun ought to turn them on here.
I'm hoping it pushes them under there.
Yep, here we go. Thump that line. There he is. There he is. You can see the thump on that one. There you
Two
go.
decent fish in there, this dock. Just needed some shade.
Yep.
Needed some sun to come out.
Very nice, sir. Very nice. We said we was going to do some dock fishing today, under the dock.
Finally. It's another good cleaner fish.
Yep.
Like I say, the bigger ones are going to start moving in as this water cools off. This is the first cold night they've had. Good fish. Get him?
Got him, Russ.
Yeah, another keeper.
Yeah.
There we go.
Hey, that's a respectable fish right there. I switched off to that orange head
Yes, sir.
and the dude on the crappie magnet. Yeah,
All black crappie this morning.
yep, all black crappie. Probably most of what we'll see today, but
Pretty good keepers out there.
we're getting there.
One dock here.
We're getting there, Russ.
Yes, sir.
We're getting there. Trust the process.
Folks, if you just joined us, we're here at Caddo Lake, day 2. Yesterday was about 90 degrees. We were fishing brush piles, and it was a little bit tough, but we ended up doing it between jigs and minnows. We caught a pretty good amount of fish. Today we're just starting out. It was 40 degrees overnight, so the first cold night here. Of course, we're here, and the bite started out a little slow, but we found one dock now, caught some good fish off of it, and so we're going to keep on going.
Oh yeah.
Now folks, as you can see on that shot there, there's not a lot of room to shoot, and that will actually increase your fishing ability because there's a good fish.
Oh yeah. Get him out of there, Russ.
There's a good fish. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that's pretty black crappie right there,
Now,
sir. Very nice.
What I was going to say,
You got interrupted, Russ.
I did. What I was going to say is there's not a lot of room between this dock and where the water is.
Yeah, you've only got 4 inches of clearance there, probably.
So you know as well as I do, Brian, a lot of people are going to hit that edge or try to shoot under or get under a foot or two is all they're getting. These fish want that dark water, and if you can learn to shoot way back under there, you've got a lot more room to work. You've got a lot more darkness under there to hit.
And I'll tell you
right
what,
there-
too, just a tactical thing on that too. So you've got the Sharpshooter 6, the 6-foot one piece, but these rods have got 6-pound instead of 8-pound line. So that lighter line is going to come off of that spool faster with a lighter weight jig to get you back there. If you're shooting 8 and 10, you're not going to be able to get as far back there. The line's just not going to come off that reel as fast.
And that's a good point. And normally I shoot with 4-pound tests, but I knew there was a lot of gnarly stuff in here, so we went a little heavier. And the size of the jig head we're using today is 1/24. It's just dropping just the right pace. And let's get back underneath there. But like I say, learn to shoot, practice at home, so you can get back under spots like this where a lot of people won't try to fish. I know, Brian, just a minute ago we were talking about getting into these spots where a lot of people won't try to fish. The time to try.
Time to try is right
Right
now.
now. Oh, that's a good
Oh,
fish.
there we go.
Another good one. If you get him in the boat,
Yeah.
you got the bright orange head on, huh?
Yes, sir. There we go. For those who can't see it from there, it's right there. Right there. Welcome to Texas. One more out of it. On the dude. I love the dude. When you catch those fish, that brings that line tighter onto your spool. So I usually throw it off and let that line just reset, and it comes kind of more naturally off of there instead of.
Another thing, folks, and we'll show you more on this when we do the gear check, but anytime I'm shooting, unless I have a cork on there, I'm going with a loop knot. It just allows it to swim a little bit more free. And we'll show you how to tie a loop knot when we do the gear check, real easy.
We made it out of there without catching a fish. right?
Well, we drifted pretty quick. I came out quicker than shoot under there and get it to drop a little bit. Oh, I think I hit next week.
I'm getting out of your way.
I'm way back under there.
3, 2. I think he's on there because the line ain't moving.
There he is. Ah, there he was. Well, it's real shallow as you get back there. And right when that dropped a little bit, when that one hit. And out here, folks, we're in 23 foot of water, but the edge of that's in, what, about 13 foot there?
Yeah, 11, 13, somewhere in there.
As far as water temperature, we got 84 degrees. What you
And a
got,
fish on.
Brian? He was out at the edge of the dock,
A little
wasn't he?
further out, yep. The smaller fish are on the outer side here. I wanted to show off to the audience there that we're not, don't worry about the fish on the outside edge here.
So
And
far,
I'm assuming because of the outside here, and that's the anal retentiveness, so he's got these black tubs. Well, they go all the way up that left one. I'm assuming the middle one goes all the way and all the
Right.
way.
you know, I have not caught a fish out this side yet.
No,
Don't be there, not
We hadn't shot one in there really. Oh boy. See you next week.
Oh, did you see that?
Yeah.
Now there was, folks, I'm not sure if the cameraman was on, but there's where you definitely saw the line jump before you would feel the hit.
That's why you fish out of a boat, Russ. So if the fish gets off, you still got it.
Oh, nice one, nice one. Folks, do not attempt that
Do
at
not
home.
attempt this at all. Oh, I thought I had him on there.
You know the other thing,
Got him out of there. Get off of that ladder.
hopefully you can see how visible that line is on the water too.
That's next level shooting right there. That's a pretty good shot there. On a 7.5 foot rod that I've never dock shot.
Is that Richard?
No, this is a yes. I love this rod. Oh my gosh. There it is.
What?
He's
We
not
have
coming up.
him.
What is it? Oh, the bluegill!
Come on, come on. They all like the bottle of gold.
Ask the Angler, sponsored by Hook and Bullet Sunglasses.
And now it's time for Ask the Angler, and today's question actually came from the dock this morning. We were talking to some folks and told them we was going dock shooting, and their question was, what size jig head do you prefer when doing this technique? I like different ones, but Ryan's going to tell you what we did today.
Yeah, man, so today we started with an 1/8 ounce. We started big and worked our way small. An 1/8 ounce with a 2-inch bait really wasn't working. So we went from an 1/8 to a 1/16, and we tried a 1/16 with about 1.5 inches, and we still weren't getting a bite. And so we ended up going all the way to the 1/24th. That's an eye-hole jig with a sickle hook on it. And that 1/24th, and we went to the small little micro dancers and the crappie magnets to try to get a smaller profile. So sometimes it's not just the weight of the jig or the fall rate, but sometimes it's just a change in profile. So we downsized both the length of the jig and the weight of the jig to create a different profile coming through the water, and it finally put some fish in the boat. So be willing to go from, don't be caught in just, I've got to fish it this way. Try another way, different sizes, different weights until you find what catches you a fish.
There you go, Ask the Angler.
Yeah, I saw that one, Russ.
Go.
Saw that one.
Come here.
Have we caught that fish already?
We caught something like that, haven't we? Right past that dock pole, and that was just a steady retrieve and a little twitch, just trying different things. A little bit smaller than the last dock that we hit them off of. God, I love watching that line.
Got him, Russ.
He's way back there, wasn't he?
Way back there. Another small fish. But a fish nonetheless.
On the dude.
On the dude. Crappie magnet dude with an orange head.
I had one hit right away. You did too.
Just flipping the boathouses. Gotta be one with the fish, Russ. One with the fish.
There's one with the fish. I just made a switch. That was the first shot in there. I'll show you what I did here, just to give them a little something different. I went to one of the new baits by Crappie Magnet, the Dancer.
Oh, yeah.
Show you why here. So
It's got the little tail, doesn't it?
Yeah. We started picking these fish up. Man, he engulfed it. We started picking them up on the retrieve. So what I went to is one of the Dancers. And you can see it's got that.
Little paddle tail.
Yes, sir. So now if I'm doing that retrieve, it's displacing the water, giving a little vibration in the water. And that was the first flip up there with it. So see if we can get a few more. And again, not a lot of space between the boat trailer there and the water, but you got to figure a lot of people won't try to hit that, so get in them areas. And again, right now the bite's turned on because it's just shade that they're looking for. Early this morning it was cold, sun wasn't up, temperatures have warmed up pretty nice, and that sun is just beating down now.
Yeah, I think we've hit 65 degrees maybe by now, Russ.
Yeah.
Couldn't pick a better day to be on the water right now. Beautiful day.
Smaller.
I'm not gonna get mine in, Russ.
I don't think.
I'm locating the brush under the dock for you there.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Now, the other thing that you'll find sometimes is the fish will actually school by size under docks. Not all the time, but today it's been the case. We had the one dock where the bigger fish were coming from. We've caught several on this one right off the bat, but they're a little bit smaller. So we'll still give it a few more minutes. If I was in a tournament though, I'd be moving out. Second one, I made 3 flips now, or 3 shots with the dancer, and 2 fish, not too bad.
Yeah.
The other thing, folks, is a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times, if you find a dock, you're catching some decent fish off and then it shuts down, you got to figure you stirred that water up, several fish coming out, go hit some other areas and then come back to that one later. We'll probably try that on that last dock a little bit too, before we call it quits today. If Brian has the time.
If I've got the time. All we got's time today, Russ. We got to see the sun rise. The rest is just details, and you're about to tell us about a detail of the day.
Definitely smaller under this dock's the detail, but they like the dancer, which is cool. I've got to use that just one time. I did a show with Ken Driscoll. We were down and just making cast actually, and that's why I thought I'd try it now, but so far so good, and hopefully we get into the dock with some bigger fish and see what it produces.
And now the BrushPile Gear Check, sponsored by Garmin.
Hey, thanks for joining us for today's BrushPile Gear Check. Dock shooting here on Caddo Lake, pretty simple rig. I was using the Sharpshooter 6 by B&M. This is a one-piece 6-foot rod designed for dock shooting. You can really pull back, let that thing rip, shoot it forever. So that was the rod. As far as the reel, we've got the Pro Series B&M. Nice little spinning reel. You don't have a lot of money wrapped up into it, but it does the trick. Now, normally when I'm shooting docks, I'll go with a 4-pound high-vis slime line. Today we went with a 6 just because between some of these docks down here and the posts, there is brush just everywhere, so it's going to get a little bit more abrasive. So we went with the 6-pound. High-vis is a must. Most of these fish that we caught today, you would see that line jump before you actually felt it. So definitely want the high-vis. As far as the jig, we went with the 1/24 ounce, seemed to do the best. It's the eye hole jig, and again, you've heard me talk about it before, but you can put your slab bites right in the eye, squeeze it in there, the scent's there. We had 2 colors of the crappie magnet that worked the best today. This is called the Butler Gold. It was dynamite for me, and I'll show you what Brian had. He had the Dude Special, and the Dude was on fire for him. So we tried several colors this morning. Those are the 2 colors that caught the most fish today. And lastly, we're fishing off the War Eagle Blackhawk 2170. Great boat, no matter whether you're spider rigging, but you've seen today, we've got this big platform up front. For dock shooting, it was awesome. That's today's BrushPile Gear Check.
There he is.
There, I got him. Might not be too bad. A little bit bigger.
We need a photo fish, so grab him.
There we go. Not too shabby.
Hang on to him.
Another dock fish, just hitting them and moving. We've had one dock that had some pretty decent ones under it. That bite slowed down, so we're just kind of moving around. Another good thick fish. Got him? Oh yeah, oh yeah. A couple more keepers under this one now. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed today's show, dock shooting on Caddo Lake here in Texas. Brian, we wanted to find out yesterday, we hit deep water stumps, and we caught some pretty nice fish.
Yep.
We wanted to see what it's going to be like on the docks. Not quite as big. That can change as this water cools off, but still, we caught a lot of fish and it was fun.
Yeah, no, it's a great day on the water. Any day you can be on the water, especially a place like this. I mean, just a Jurassic environment. It's, yeah, not quite the quality of fish today, but still a lot of action on the docks, and that's a beautiful day on Earth and a great day to be on the water, so no doubt.
I hear you. And folks, if you've never tried dock shooting, I hope you learned a few tips today. Give it a try. It's a great, fun technique to fish for crappie. Brian, as always, brother, it's always good to fish with you, man.
Russ, man, y'all drive a lot of miles to put these lakes and these people on camera, and the man behind the camera there, Mr. Joe, deserves some credit for it too. And so we appreciate just sharing the time with you guys, and we look forward to having you back.
All right. Hope you enjoyed it, folks. Stay tuned. We'll be back again with BrushPile Fishing. That's what I'm talking about right there.
Right there, Russ.
Folks,
hold on, don't move the jig. I can't see the fish.
You too can come to Caddo and catch big trophy fish just like that one.
How close can you get it to Joe's camera?
Special thanks to B&M Pole Company, War Eagle Boats, Crappie Magnet, Slime Line Fishing Line, Cornfield Fishing Gear, Eye-Hole Jig, Easy Drift, RTD Erupt Fishing, Driftmaster, Offshore Tackle Company, Power Pole, Mossback Fish Habitat,